Did you know there is a town that refuses to say the word mother after midnight? Not out of superstition, but survival. Locals claim an invisible presence, a thing they call the unseen mother, still walks the streets, whispering lullabies to children who never existed. And if you hear her voice, you'll forget your own name before sunrise. This is the story of Black Hollow, a place buried under mist and silence, and of the invisible witch that tore its people apart. Black Hollow sits deep in the valley of Redden County, surrounded by pine and fog. On maps, it's just a ghost smudge between the mountains. Population 0, but that wasn't always true. Back in 1954, it was a thriving mining town. Hard men, soft women, and children running through the cracked streets while the old church bell tolled over the hills. It wasn't paradise, but it was home. Until the voices began. They started as whispers in the wind, soft as lullabies. People thought it was the sound of the mines echoing, or maybe the forest playing tricks. But when the voices started saying names, real names, the laughter died. Miners came home pale, shaking, claiming they'd heard a woman humming under the ground. One said he felt breathing behind his ear in the dark shaft, but no one was there. Another swore he saw handprints appear on the dust-covered walls, small, delicate hands. By winter, 3 men had gone missing. Their helmets were found on the ground, still flickering with light, but the tunnels where they'd vanished had sealed themselves with rock, like the earth had swallowed them whole. An old woman named Martha Keene, the town's herbalist, started speaking about her. She said there had been a woman long before Black Hollow was built, a mother who had lost her child in a flood that destroyed the valley centuries ago. The villagers back then blamed her grief for the storm. They said she cursed the water, bound her soul to the mist, and vanished into the hills. Her name was Elda Vero. Martha said Elda wasn't a ghost, but something worse. A mother without a child, endlessly searching, jealous of every living thing that could still love. And sometimes, when she found a town that forgot her story, she returned, unseen, unheard, until someone whispered her name again. The mayor laughed her off. The priest condemned her talk as heresy. 2 nights later, Martha was found dead in her home. Her body was untouched, but every mirror in her house had shattered from the inside. On the walls, written in ash, were 4 words: "Hush, my little one." After Martha's death, the town began to crumble from the inside out. Children woke screaming at night, claiming a soft lady was singing near their beds. Parents locked the doors, but it didn't help. Doors would open on their own. Windows fogged from the inside on warm days. And when the mist came rolling down the hills, people would vanish without a sound. Their houses were left untouched, food still cooking, fires still burning. But no bodies, just the smell of milk and wet earth. By early 1955, half the town was gone. The sheriff called for help from the next county. A team of state investigators came. They found an entire community terrified to speak after dark. Everyone claimed to hear something different: laughter, lullabies, whispers, or breathing. And everyone who stayed overnight began to forget pieces of themselves, names, faces, even the way home. One of the investigators wrote in his report, "It's like the town is alive and feeding on us." That report was never filed. The only surviving evidence from Black Hollow is a reel-to-reel tape discovered by a historian in 1989, found sealed in a glass jar beneath the church floorboards. It's labeled June 12th, 1955, Night of the Mother. The tape runs for 17 minutes. You can hear wind, heavy breathing, and the distant ringing of the church bell. Then, a voice, female, gentle, whispering in an unknown language. As it grows clearer, another voice joins in. A man's voice, terrified, crying for help. Then, silence. Then a lullaby. Experts tried to clean the recording, but no one can identify the melody. Every attempt ends in corrupted data or missing audio. The historian who discovered it went missing 2 months later. His house was found empty, except for the recorder, still playing the sound of breathing. In 2004, hikers near the old Black Hollow Valley reported hearing a woman calling names from the fog. They found old foundations of houses, still blackened by mold and moss. One of them, a journalist named Hannah Reed, uploaded a video of the area online. The footage was only a minute long. It showed a misty field, overgrown and silent. Then, faintly, a shadow moved across the screen, a figure-shaped distortion, like air bending around something solid. The video ends with Hannah gasping, dropping the camera and whispering, "She's touching my shoulder." Her channel was deleted the next day. Her car was found 10 miles away, doors open, engine running. She was never found. Today, Black Hollow is fenced off by the state. They claim the soil is unstable and the mines too dangerous for entry. But locals in nearby towns say you can still hear the church bell on cold nights, even though the church collapsed decades ago. Some hikers claim the fog grows warm when you walk too deep. Others say they've found footprints beside their own, small, bare, and wet. And once in 2018, a local radio host received a call from a trembling voice that said, "She's holding my hand. She says she remembers me." Then the line went dead. The trace led to an abandoned cabin in the valley. On the walls, carved into the rotting wood, was a single phrase, "Hush now, my little one." Skeptics say it's mass hysteria, that the fog trapped gases from the old mines poisoning the villagers' minds. Others think it's something else entirely, a psychological contagion that spreads through stories and memory. But locals still leave small wooden dolls at the edge of the forest, gifts for the unseen mother. And every year, a handful of visitors go missing around the anniversary of the town's disappearance. People who live near the area swear they see flickering lights in the valley, like candles. Some say they hear lullabies in the dark, and some claim that if you whisper your mother's name after midnight, you'll hear her voice answer, even if she's long dead. Satellite scans show something strange about Black Hollow. The valley changes shape every few years, like the land itself is breathing. Old roads vanish, rivers bend differently. In 2021, a drone captured high-resolution footage over the area. Halfway through the flight, the drone's sensors recorded a sudden temperature drop of 31 degrees Celsius, followed by static. Then a shape appeared, a distortion roughly human-sized moving directly beneath the drone's camera. It stopped, looked up, and for a single frame, a face appeared. Pale, eyeless, smiling. The drone crashed seconds later. When rescuers found it, the onboard memory had been wiped clean, except for a single file titled Mother. In folklore, witches who die with grief are said to be bound to the cradle. Their sorrow doesn't fade. It festers, turning into something that feeds on love itself. Maybe Elda Vero was real. Maybe she never was. But if you listen to the right frequency, around 19 hertz, you might hear something strange in the static. A heartbeat, a voice humming softly, like a mother calming a crying child. And sometimes, if you turn the volume all the way up, you'll hear the voice whisper, faint, desperate, and close. "Hush, my little one. You're home now." Then the audio cuts to silence. But some swear, when the tape stops, they can still feel breathing behind them. And so, the story of Black Hollow remains unsolved. The government sealed the land. The fog still rolls in. And mothers across Redden County still refuse to speak their children's names after midnight. Because they say, once you do, the unseen mother will finally know where to find you.